Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Anthony. I think it's like almost 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm actually at Taco Cabana. I don't know if you guys can see the sign right there. Waiting for Rashad and Dion to get here. So, yeah. I would go ahead and say, if you have a instinct, if you have a gut feeling, go with that instinct. Go with that gut feeling, because that gut feeling is what's going to keep you and is what is going to protect you. I like to think the gut feeling is the Holy Ghost, if you will. It is going to keep you and it's going to protect you. Your gut feeling will not steer you wrong. I say all this to say, I made a video, a week or two ago, about me, breaking up with my boyfriend or whatnot, whatever. And we ended up, talking and getting back together. Stupid, I know. And I had a gut feeling, I've always had a gut feeling that he was talking to somebody else, but because I didn't really have any evidence, just text messages, excuse me, woo, kind of just like brushed that shit past, because of course I didn't have no hard evidence. So tonight I went out with the boys, and he's supposed to be going to Dallas for 2 weeks, for 2 days, to do some, to do some work, going to his job. But, so, I was like, well, I wanted to see you before I go, because he had told me before that, he wanted to see me every day before I leave, and blah, 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 whatever. So, I get out the club, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to go home, I'm going to go see him. So, I drive to his house, because I just recently got a car, so I really couldn't go over his house as much as I wanted. He had to come get me, or I had to get dropped off, because, whatever, tell him all my business. But anyway. So I was like, let me just go, see whatever. Honestly, I went to see him and to say goodbye, but I had an instinct that some shit was going on. So I would not call him until I got there, because I was like, if I call him and somebody's there, he's going to know potentially that I'm on my way. He's going to have them leave. So I got there, waited for somebody to open the gate, went in, parked, turned off my lights, and was just sitting there. And he was like, I called him and whatever, and he didn't answer the phone. And I was like, so, okay. So all of a sudden, I see some black dude walking out with a bag. I'm like, that's my guess. But the thing about it is, the gag is, I did not see the guy walk out the house, because it's like this little wall or something, so I didn't see him. So what I did is, when he got in the car, because his car, I parked right next to him. Go figure. I parked right next to his car. He walks in the car, and the thing about it, I knew that was a car, because I had never seen that car at my boyfriend's house, ex-boyfriend's house before. I had never seen that car at his house before, because I've been over there a lot, so he lives in his complex, so I know all the cars. So I was like, okay, so this is T. And the license plate say Maryland. Come on now, Texas. All you see is Texas. So I walked up to the door, and the guy was looking at me. I didn't say anything to him. I just knocked on the door. And if the guy would have pulled off and drove away, I would have been like, okay, maybe that's somebody else. I was tripping. But the guy stood there in the car. And then my boyfriend came in. Well, he came outside. My ex-boyfriend came out, opened the door, and I'm sitting here like, okay, nigga, you ain't been asleep. He already knew low-key that he was caught. So I walk in there, and he laid down in the bed like, what's up? I said, and I just sat there, and I was like, so what's going on? I said, who was that guy that just walked out your door? What are you talking about? His phone was ringing. So I reached down and picked up his phone, and he had saved the guy's name as something else. The guy had already told me his name was Cody or whatnot, whatever. Well, no, not yet. So the guy opened the door, and I went outside, and the guy was walking up, and we ended up talking. He told me that they had been having sex for like a year and a half, almost 2 years. Mind you, me and him have been together since April 15th, my birthday. They had sex last week, and yeah. And honestly, I thought if I ever saw that I would go off. One, I couldn't get mad at the guy, because the guy didn't know about me, or so he says. He seemed genuine, so I couldn't get mad at him. The only person, see, that's another thing. I don't understand when shit like this goes wrong, why you get mad at the girl. Okay, you whip her ass if she knew about you. If that was your homegirl, she knew about you, then you whip that bitch ass, because that's just totally disrespectful. But if he genuinely didn't know about you, how can you get mad at him? Because the same lies that your dude is feeding you, he's feeding him. And you're feeding into it, so why wouldn't you think that anybody else would? So, the guy to the left, and I sat there and talked to him and told him, he said, you know what, I'm going to give you amnesty. I need you to tell me the truth about everything. Oh, well, no, whatever. So, long story short, I have sucker or ass written on my face. I don't hurt now. My whole body is telling me to let him go. I just feel numb. I just don't want to do it anymore. I'm just numb. So I'm waiting for Rashad to get here. And then I'm sure we'll have a drink or something, and then here come these gay boys talking to somebody's mama's, you know, BMW. I don't know why you gay people do that. Like, y'all always drive your mama's car or rent a car to the club, bro. No good one where you gotta turn in promptly at 6 o'clock in the morning, otherwise they're gonna tag your ass and show up at your place of residence. But, yeah. As for now, this is a single Anthony. I guess I did that single remix for her. Didn't do it for nothing. Haha. That was actually for him. Like, if you go back and listen to it, like, I wrote that with him in mind. Because all the shit I had been through. And if you really get into the words what I said, yeah, that's how I felt about the situation. I can't rap, but that's how I felt about the situation. I know probably, excuse me,